Will the Flames be selling at the deadline? Probably. But what will their record be? As a lot of people know, the draft pick situation is an interesting one for the Calgary Flames, right? As, well, hey, would you look at that? We have New Jersey's first and our own. What do you know? So it is set up that way. I'm okay with this. Thank God we do actually have our own first then. We got Vegas's first in 2026. Okay. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Never mind, we're fine. Tank away, gentlemen. Tank away. Let's go. Let's fucking go. God. Long break, of course, this month as well, which is nice. Montreal's must have Florida's to start. Yeah. Thankfully. Mr. Very Manly Joel Hanley, let's get you out for Kevin Ball. I don't believe anybody else calls him that, but if that's not his nickname, then hockey sucks. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if your name is Joel Hanley, your nickname better be Very Manly. In fairness, I think it's Hanley. Come on. Yeah. Fair assumption, swap picks in the roster. That is true. ESPN will let us know. You know, Liam O'Brien, he's got a nickname, right? Hey, Spicy Tuna. There he is, Spicy Tuna. Hey, there we're now going onto the bench with Spicy Tuna. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, that first Utah game was unbearable. Jesus, ESPN. We get it. It is March 1st. We are at 27, 24, and 8, and we are still on the cusp of being in the playoffs. We are currently 2 points behind Nashville. No. We're gonna have to try to sell off some pieces at the deadline. We're gonna have to try to sell at the deadline as best we can. Our defense has been bad, but again, we have been able to put up points this year, and that has proven to be very problematic for our goals for this year. We do lose to the Florida Panthers, which is nice. We end up beating Carolina, which is unfortunate. Philadelphia is a loss. And now we get the Dallas Stars in our final game before the deadline. That is also a loss. Very nice. Let's take a look one more time at the stats for this season before we get into the deadline. And, of course, kind of recognizing what players we might get rid of. So Nazem Kadri has still been our top guy, almost a point per game. Huberdeau has finally overtaken Coronado in scoring. But, I mean, outside of Kadri, like, we don't, even then with Kadri, I mean, he's a point per game player. Is he a superstar player? Not necessarily. It's just been scoring by committee. Mackenzie Weegar is now our top scoring defenseman, thank God, but our best overall defenseman has been Tyson Barrie, which is horrifying. The Ball-Barrie pairing has been unbelievable. And then Dan Vladar still rocking a 914. Dustin Wolf's save percentage continues to drop. We have quite obviously had a superior goaltender over the other, and that has been Dan Vladar. So to the deadline we go. We are sellers. We have no reason to try and add and push for the playoffs right now. Available, Linus Hallmark. I guess they haven't reached a new deal. Luke Hughes is on the block. Nick Schmaltz, JT Comfort, Jacob Trumba, McNabb. Okay, well, hi, New Jersey. Hello? I don't even think I have the value to get him. I really don't. It would be Zane Parekh, and at that point, what's the point? could technically give up the 2 picks that we have, but both of those picks could be pretty good, right? It's New Jersey's first that we're looking at, not Nashville. We know New Jersey's got a losing record, too. New Jersey's looking to, like, blow it up a little bit, man. Have you seen who they have on the block? Hughes, Silyev, Mercer. Damn. Well, we'll look. Dude, I don't even know how much we're going to be able to sell because we are towards the cap floor here. But let's take a look. So goalie-wise, Vladar's deal is up at the end of the year. If we can get something for him now, we should, even though he has been better. If we can't, and nobody wants him. Fair enough. Fair enough. Defensively. Tyson Barrie, I mean, if we can flip him, it's worth it. Even though he's been one of our best defensemen this year, I mean, if we can flip him. Second and a third from Boston, Fabian Lysell. Trkozov. Second and a third, Robbie Arventi. So a decent little prospect for Tyson Barrie, or a second and a third from teams that are looking to add at the deadline. He's had a good year, so it's not the most unrealistic thing in the world. I would still prefer to take a team's draft picks as opposed to actual prospects, especially super early on in a franchise. It would make sense to do Edmonton or another team in our division to strengthen a team in our division, or at least in our conference. So we are going to do the very controversial. Moki, it's the other Pettersson. You got to remember they have 2 Petterssons. This is defensive Pettersson. We are going to send Tyson Barrie to the Oilers for a second and third round pick here at the deadline. Even if it's late, whatever, it makes the Oilers better, which will only benefit us in the standings. And, I mean, it's funny to send Tyson Barrie back to Edmonton. Those are 2026 picks. That's fine by me. I'm talking about making them better now so that we're worse this year and don't make the playoffs. Not so much like trying to, you know, do anything future-wise. Coronado's on an expiring deal. Anthony Mantha. There have been some big trades down at the bottom already. Third round pick and Connor Clifton. Yeah. Actually, that trade might not be the worst because Clifton would at least count against the cap. Uchevin, Clifton, 2 fourth rounders from Chicago, a third, and Bryce McConnell Barker. Or again, I don't like trading for teams' actual prospects. Even though there are some good players to get there. Honestly, 2 fourths from Chicago. I'm good with it. If it'll let me do it. There we go. Anthony Mantha on his way to Chicago for a couple of draft picks. I might have to take on a cap whale here. Kuzmenko in the last year of his deal. I like Andrei Kuzmenko. 29 years old. He's had a good season, but I'm also good to move on from him. Very much good to move on from him. Make the team worse. Get what we can. Maybe we bring him back in free agency. 2 seconds from Chicago. Jacob Trumba. Well, we'll take 2 second rounders from Chicago if it'll let me do it. Cap-wise. All right, Kuzmenko's out. There we go. So Kuzmenko's gone. Mantha's gone. TJ Brody's gone. Getting rid of who we have to get rid of on expiring deals. And let's be honest, those were the players to get rid of on those expiring contracts. So, again, I like Kuzmenko a lot, but that was I think that was the right move for us to make. So I need to look around Luke Hughes is still available. We just... Again, like, if you think about the draft board right now, projected picks, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5... Like, right now, we're projected at 2 top 5 picks. Luke Hughes or 2 top 5 picks. I'm going to stay with the picks. Especially, too, I don't really want to be the reason that Luke Hughes leaves New Jersey because, I mean, come on, that's not going to happen. You never know, but come on. So do we have a team... Brian Dumoulin won't come here. They're trying to get rid of Gudas. Robbie Fabry. Can I take on, like, Brock McGinn and Robbie Fabry for cheap? I need some salary on this team. And those would be 2 good players to pick up that are low value. Can I give up that Chicago 4th now? Anaheim. Ooh, Anaheim would be under. Okay. Well, Anaheim's not the right team to pull off that trade with then. Boston. Ian Letourneau, Fabian Lysell. Wow, Letourneau has gone up like 7 overall points or something this season alone. Holy shit. I mean, Lysell wouldn't be a bad player to pick up to try to get him to develop. Nobody there. Ron. And right now, I'm not about trying to rob teams of their top prospects. Getting Sean Corrali from Columbus for the cap hit. He and Justin Danforth. So Columbus could work. Jeff Petrie. And Christian Fisher. All right, so Detroit could work. Columbus could work. Who else do we have getting rid of salary here? That's what we need right now is just cheap salary. Just to make sure that we are cap compliant. Could take UL Armia. Armia's getting paid a fair amount. How expensive would it be to take on Armia for the rest of the year? Actually, do I have anybody that I just like don't plan on signing at all? Lang is terrible. Nikolaev's terrible. Quite far off in terms of value. Anybody else I can just dump onto the Habs here? That hopefully they're not dumb enough to sign. You never know. You never know. Axel Hertig. What about this guy, Jameson? There we go. All right, so we take on Yoel Armia. I still need a lot of salary here. Holy shit. We got to move fast. We got to move fast. We are way under. Columbus had Matt Olivier making $5 million. He must be a cap whale for them. And Sean Corrali. Let's see if we can take on these two. Any unsigned goalies I'm not going to want. Chechelev is a medium backup. Here we go. All right, take on some sour there, and we are cap compliant. Beautiful. Beautiful. Detroit had Petrie. Who overpaid? Probably. I don't really care. Petrie and Fisher, actually, they still have some value. Asheville, no. Dawson, I mean, again, New Jersey's trying to blow it up because they're bad this year. It's hilarious. Rangers are trying to move Jacob Trouba still. Realistic. Realistic. Sharks looking to move Luke Kunin, Jan Ruda, Nico Sturm. 3 more players I'd be willing to acquire. Again, I don't think negative value is necessarily going to exist here. But if we give you guys Lurby, we also add in Ertig as a medium 7th. Yeah, I'd still have too many skaters. Get Nico Sturm out of there. Just need to take on some salary cap space so that we have maneuverability. What about a 6th rounder this year? Yeah, screw it. We'll take it. There we go. All right. So we should be nice and cap compliant. We have acquired some extra draft picks, gotten rid of who we needed to get rid of. I don't really want to engage, like I said, in taking a lot of AI's top prospects away, but we'll see what the AI do to brutalize one another. And we definitely have made our team worse. Hayden Fleury is on waivers. I mean, morale-wise is down. We'll take Hayden Fleury. Why not? All right, let's see. Let's see. Activity feed. Zach Whitecloud for a second. Jeff Petrie a fourth and a fifth to Edmonton for a second and a seventh. A second and Dylan Duke for Ben Hutton, a third or 2/3 actually. Jack Pert in a third for Danforth, a fourth and a sixth. The Ruda and Kunin for Lurby and Company trade. Jackson Blake and Ryan Suzuki to Utah for Nick Bjugstad in the sixth. Liam Ogren for Cody Ceci in a sixth. That's a bit rough. Matthew Olivier and Corrali for Chechelev. Kerfoot in a fourth for a second and Joe Fleming. The Armia trade. Carson Lambos in a third to Montreal for Jake Evans, a third and a fourth. Nick Waugh to Vancouver for a first and Pedersen. Hey, you know, the fact that Vancouver was willing to trade a first at the deadline is impressive. I don't know if Nick Waugh is worth that return, but holy hell. Adam Henrique for Scandella, a third and a fourth. Andrew Kopp to Buffalo with a third and a seventh for a second, a third, and Connor Clifton. Again, we got 2 seconds for Kuzmenko. Joachim Kamel and Navrin Mutter to Utah for Ian Cole, a third, and Michael Carcone. It's Nashville shoring things up. I mean, the Kamel loss hurts a bit, but 2 fourths for Mantha. Christian Dvorak and David Savard off to Winnipeg for a second and a third. Martin Fehervari to Anaheim for Frank Vetrano and a third. Of course, we got a second and a third for Tyson Barrie. Columbus gets a second, Groshev and Menigan for Provorov and Jack Johnson off to Tampa. Mikhail Granlund to Minnesota for Riley Height and Rasmus Kumpalainen. For Mata and Mott for a first and Christian Cairo. Detroit was wheeling. Easton Cowan and Ty Voigt to Vegas for Braden McNabb. So the Leafs are going for it as well. That was the trade that kicked it all off. Interesting. Interesting. So Vladar and Wolf were still good there. Defensively, Uyghur Anderson, Bean Ball, Ruda, Miramanoff, and Hanley. Wow. Out of nowhere, Hunter Brustowitz has developed into being a third pair guy already. Wow. Well, yeah, you're going to play the rest of the year then, bud. Let's get you up here. Wow. Where did Tampa get the cap space for Provorov? Good question. Very good question. So Brustowitz is going to play. Ruda's going to play. Miramanoff as the depth. And maybe we'll go Hanley as the depth and send down Miramanoff. Brutal this year. That works. Right wing side. Olivier is an AHLer, apparently. Be able to send down Matthew Olivier if we want to. Pelletier is a depth forward. Did get sent down. Alright, let's send down Olivier. See, I can't imagine he get claimed. 10, 11, 12, 13 with Walker Duehr. Pelletier is a depth forward. Yeah, we'll just let Pelletier play in the AHL for the rest of the year. Honestly, with all these fourth liners, I'd like to just send them down to see who would get claimed. But we should be okay. We should be okay. So what is the team going to look like the rest of the season? Coronado's still going to play. So Pospisil, Corrali, Lomberg, Armia, Kunin, Ullman? Sorry. I mean, we could go Backlund and the kids. And then Huberdeau, Kadri sharing. Yeah, we'll go Backlund with the kids. Stay away from my sons. That is a team right there. Uyghur, Anderson. Oh, God, the defense is awful. It's so bad. We got to get Joel Hanley out for Kevin Ball. We'll play Ball and Brustowitz, and then Bean with Ruda. Our PlayStation guy's still on a boat to drift. Kind of, yeah. It's still not cross-plat, unfortunately. I do need to check out the PlayStation side and see who's out there, though. Oh, Pelletier and Hanzik. Hopefully they can do some damage. Hopefully. We do have a couple of players that I want to make sure are in the lineup now. I mean, if injuries happen, they happen. Demetrius Kuzmatis. Not too worried about. Connor Malimak. Malimak. What a name. Let's get Bell in there. Justin Kirkland, we can take out for the old Keona Siona. And Sam Morton. We don't really have anybody that we're worried about. Defensively, Yanni Yerma. I mean, Yerma's only 22. I'll be off at 24. Yeah, we're probably fine. Okay, well, there we go. I mean, a pretty busy deadline. Again, we could have gone crazy in the early stages, but like I said, I mean, I definitely learned that I do prefer trading for draft picks instead of just being like, oh, AI's dumb and getting rid of Luke Hughes. Let us get Luke Hughes in season 1, you know? And thankfully, he did stay in New Jersey. So that would have been pretty disappointing to see him get dealt in the first season. But Operation Tank post-deadline is so far failing as we have won back-to-back games. Because, of course. And again, we do have New Jersey's first in a year where they are bad. Our scouts are apparently not doing too much so far. That's not so promising. Our scouts could... Can we stop winning hockey games? How have we won 5 in a row? 6! 6 in a row! Oh my God! We can't even tank correctly. Are you kidding? Dude, we get rid of Kuzmenko, freaking Barry, and Mantha, and somehow... Oh my God. 7 wins in our last 10. We are currently 4 points out of a playoff spot. Utah is a win. Don't make the playoffs, please. The Anaheim Ducks. Oh, thank God. Whew, we lost. Okay. Dude, the fact is, like, we're still going to have a high lottery pick because of this. This is a tragedy. Vegas. We lose to Vegas in a shootout. That's another point. Oh, my God. San Jose. We are currently 3 points out of a playoff spot still. The Sharks. We win in a shootout. The Ducks again. We win in a shootout. No! We're gonna make it. We're currently 1 point behind Chicago for Wild Card 2. Each team with 3 games to go. Oh my God. The 43-win Minnesota Wild. We lose 6-2. Dude, Dan Vladar has a 921 save. Oh, good. Dustin Wolfson for this next game. We are now 3 points out. San Jose. We win. Final game of the year is against Vegas. If we win and Seattle loses, we are potentially in. Oh my God. We might actually make it. Look at this. So Vegas still has 2 games left. They can finish on a maximum of 91 points. We play them. If they beat us, it's over anyway. Seattle can finish on 91 points. We can only finish with 90. Edmonton destroying worlds this year. And then in the Central, 91 points, potentially 93 for wild card 2. So we cannot make it in the wild card. We would have to survive here by beating Vegas. If we beat Vegas in regulation, they cannot pass us. If we beat Vegas in regulation and Seattle loses, we're in. But they have the tiebreaker on us from the looks of it. If we finish with the same, this is nuts. How are we in this? How are we in this situation? How? How is this team doing this? Look at this lineup, dude. We brought in Armia, Kunin, Corrali. Look at our fucking defense. Ow. Oh my God. Okay. That's true. Players don't always get the memo that you're trying to tank. They're still playing for contracts and pride. It is game 82 against the Vegas Golden Knights. We might actually make the playoffs. A regulation win and a Seattle loss means that we are in. First period. Goalless. Come on, Vegas, please. Second period. No! No! Nazem Kadri and Connor Zary. Oh my God. Fuck. Connor Zary, in fairness. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we are now, and I already was the biggest fan of the Seattle Kraken. Let's get Kraken. We need the Kraken to win. Third period, because we're going to beat Vegas. Connor Zary, 3-0. No. Tanner Pearson gets one back. Oh my God. Vegas, force overtime at least. Force overtime at least. The Calgary Flames beat Vegas. If the Seattle Kraken lost their final game in regulation, we are going to the playoffs in Season 1, despite trying to tank. The Kraken won! No playoffs for Calgary. At that point, we might as well have just made it. Right? Like, at that point, we already screwed ourselves out of a better draft pick. We might as well have just made it. But Seattle beats LA 5-3, and the Kraken secure that playoff spot. So we were just good enough to screw ourselves out of a lottery pick, essentially, or a higher value lottery pick. What an absolute disaster of a first season in Calgary. Oh my God. That could not have gone any worse, essentially. Oh my God. How are you so good at specifically building fringe mid teams? Dude, I don't know. It's a gift. It's a gift. Season 1 has come to a close. The Seattle Kraken will play the Vancouver Canucks The Edmonton Oilers will play the Chicago Blackhawks. The Colorado Avalanche will play the Nashville Predators, and the Dallas Stars will play the Minnesota Wild in the first round. In the East, the Tampa Bay Lightning will play the Detroit Red Wings. The Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Florida Panthers. The Boston Bruins play the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Philadelphia Flyers will play the New York Rangers. So some interesting results here. As Edmonton wins the President's Trophy, the Blue Jackets were in the basement. You got San Jose. Ottawa was bad. Islanders and Kings weren't close. The Jets weren't close. Devils, of course, give us our second lottery pick. Carolina doesn't make the playoffs. Vegas. Dude, we finished ahead of all of those teams, by the way. Jesus. I mean, that's Calgary. Too good to get a pick. Too bad to make it into the play. Apparently, we're living up to it. We're living up to it. And it's because of Nazem Kadri, Stanley Cup champion Nazem Kadri. 71 points in a full season. Again, we got rid of Andrei Kuzmenko, Anthony Mantha, and Tyson Barrie at the deadline. So they would have contributed to our successes earlier in the season. 58 points, 24 goals for Michael. Good old Mikhail Backlund. Sharon Govich, 55 points. Pretty good. Coronado, 50 points. Good job, Maddie. You tried, Johnny. You tried. 47 points for Huberto. Honor Zeri, 40 points this year. Coleman is up there. Armia. How did Armia do once we acquired him? 7 points in 19 games. Popsicle was up there. Luke Kunin, 5 points in 19 games. Rally, 3 points in 19 games. Defensively, decent season for Mackenzie Weegar. Bit of a disappointing season for Rasmus Anderson. Kevin Ball was actually really good this year. Jake Bean was the opposite at a minus 32. Jan Ruda was bad after we acquired him. Hunter, plus 14. Dude, Hunter Brustowitz, and I'm probably saying his name incorrectly, and I apologize. And Kevin Ball. Dude, Kevin Ball had a great season next to TJ Brody. And then with Hunter. Kevin Ball might be the key. Goaltending-wise, great season for Dan Vladar. Dustin Wolf, not so much. But, well, Darth Vladar, pretty damn good year. Pretty damn good. League-wide, Zach Hyman leads the way on 125 points, 50 goals. Connor scored 71. McKinnon on 117 points as well. Ronton and Matthews and Nuge, the only other guys to break 100. Your top goal scorers, McDavid, Pasternak, and Matthews all hit at least 61. McKinnon, Ronton, and Hyman hit 50. Damn, Crosby, 43 goals. Defensively, amazing season for Makar. Get Morrissey, Heiskanen, Fox all up there. Good season for Quinn Hughes as well. And then 30 goals, by the way, for Makar. And then in goal, 47 wins for Skinner, Bobrovsky, Vasi, Saros, and Georgiev all hit at least 40 wins. Four-way tie. It was 6 shutouts for Ottinger, Anderson, Kemper, and Saros. Top save percentage for a starter is Dan Vladar, man. Logan Thompson was up there. But Mrazek at a 921 in more games. Dude, Peter Mrazek might win the Vezina in Season 1. Anything over a 920 was outstanding. Anything over a 915 was really good. For the rookies, it's going to be Matvei Michkov winning the battle over Will Smith. Flyers are going to have themselves the Calder winner. Matvei Michkov. Interesting, though, Smith and Celebrini, same team, but obviously Celebrini's line got roasted, while Will Smith's line actually did pretty well with an even rating. Go figure. Remember when you joked about Vladar winning an award this year? I did do that, didn't I? I did do that, didn't I? Fuck. Okay. I am just getting trolled to death by this game this year. So far, I am just getting trolled to death. We'll see what happens. What a massive boost to his trade value. Yeah, as he's on an expiring contract, too. I might want to sign him now. Honestly. Let's talk. He had no trade value at the deadline, but he might now. Mr. Vladar, what are you looking for money-wise? 1.9 million for the year? Okay. I'll give him that deal if he's willing to come back. Here we go, and we'll see. Dude, he took a pay cut. He took a 300-grand pay cut, and he's about to win the Vezina. Let's go. Tremendous. Tremendous. I don't think we're going to have any other expiring contracts we got to worry about right now that aren't RFAs. Boston Bruins legend, Dan Vladar. Let's go. Let's go. Elite team guy. And very well could be our long-term starter. You never know. Especially if we keep specking in the goaltenders. Who needs Dustin Wolf when you got Dan the Man? So we'll see how the playoffs go. Doesn't look like the Wranglers made the postseason, which isn't overly surprising. So our seasons are both done. We'll see who wins the cup in season 1. We'll see. All right. Do our scouts actually kind of know what they're doing now? Nope. Okay. I mean, in fairness, we didn't change anything about them, but whatever. We'll see where we end up. We'll see. All right. Boston and Colorado in the Cup final. The Ray Bork Bowl. Yeah, the 2025 Bruins making the Stanley Cup. Fucking sure. Sure, Jan. It's going to Game 7. Or like Game 77. Although, did you know Ray Bork used to wear the number 7? There you go. But then it got retired for Phil Esposito. And then he had the whole thing where he took off the 7 and had the 77. And everybody cried. Your Stanley Cup champions in season 1, the Boston Bruins. I'm getting trolled to death. On a night where the Bruins looked like hot trash on the ice, I am getting trolled to death. And you know it's all because of this guy. Save us from the Corpusalo. Save us from the Corpusalo. God damn it. The Grand Rapids Griffins, not to be overlooked, have won the Calder Cup. Brad Marchand, David Pasternak, and a bunch of dudes. That's the way. That is the way. As Boston goes through Tampa, Toronto, and Pittsburgh. Sure. If you say so, Gam. If you say so. I'll choose to believe you. Choose to believe you. Looking here, Boston very much led by Pasternak, 24 goals in 22 games. Marchand was up there. McAvoy. That's not looking too bad at all in terms of how they did. Even Tyler Johnson did well. And then goaltending, Sway with a 9-1-1. Corpusalo played in 2 games, no result in either. Chicago knocking out Edmonton's Wild. Yeah, it's a big upset for sure. In terms of the awards, I wish, but good luck with that. Thanks, Vassy. Thanks, Tactics. Perfect rosters. Zach Hyman won the Art Ross. Awesome. I mean, we knew that, but it's still just so funny to see it. He also won the Hart Trophy. Cale Makar wins another Norris. Frees off the Bing, the Calder to Matvei Michkov. Conn Smythe to David Pastrnak. Thatcher Demko won the Vezina. Boo! Vladar was robbed. Boo! Unbelievable. Vasilevsky wins the Jennings. Prohorov the Masterton. Perseverance. Perseverance and a dedication to hockey. Brothers skipped a practice because of a color. A spectrum of colors. Perseverance. Oh, shout out to John Tortorella winning the Jack Adams. Selke to Anze Kopitar. Ted Lindsay Award to Zach Hyman. Rocket Richard to Connor McDavid. In the AHL, Linus Karlsson puts up the most points. And old Linus was still the MVP as well. Top goal scorer, Gabe Fortier. Syracuse. Top rookie, Dalibor Dvorsky. Top defenseman, Nick DeSimone. Top goaltender, James Reimer. Speaking of being scared of the rainbow. And then the MVP of the playoffs, Sheldon Dries. Way to go, Sheldon. Way to go. Really good AHLer as well. Or really good in the NCAA. AHL. So season 1 in the books. For us, we acquired some extra draft picks and couldn't tank correctly. At least we did get some good development out of Matt Coronado. We did get some development out of Darth Vladar. Again, he got robbed of the Vezina. Connor Zary improved. Dustin Wolf improved. Hunter Brustowitz is one of the big stories this year. Sam Honzik is going to be ready to be on the NHL roster next year. He's listed as a depth forward. It's blocked by the webcam. Nikita Hotyuk improved a bit. I mean, he's over in Europe. See if we can bring him back. William Stromgren's going to be ready for the NHL next season. Karens gets better. Klapka gets better. Sergeyev. Zane Parekh up to a 74. That's not bad. Poirier gets a bit better. Yanni Yermo. Suniev. Henry Muse. And we got some decent development for some guys. Asha, Gradine, Luke Misa. I mean, I'm hoping we can get Michael Misa in this draft. So, not too bad. Not too bad. The big question now will be the draft lottery. We have 2 picks in the conversation, our own and New Jersey's, but the odds of one of those picks winning are quite slim. Let's see what happens. And, okay. Well, the Ottawa Senators have the number 1 overall pick. Anaheim will pick number 2. As we are stuck with picks 9 and 16. But there it is. Fair enough. Fair enough. We can still do damage with that. Particularly for teams looking to move a pick. Retiring at the end of season 1. Brian Little, Anton Strawman, Derek Ryan, Kyle Clifford, Tim Schaller. So many others. Goalies, Keith Kincaid. Noted rookie camp attendee, Keith Kincaid. And Derek Ryan, Zach Dalpe, and Vadim Shipachyov all became scouts. Obviously, I don't have to worry about coaching, so that's good. So off to our first draft at the helm of the Flames, and let's see what happens. Ottawa is looking to trade the number 1 overall pick. Let's talk. Let's talk, Ottawa. I don't know if we have enough to pull this off, but we got to try. We have our own pick. We have New Jersey's. How close is that? I mean, it's worth it, right? Like 9 and 16. Like, it's going to be a deep draft, but Vladar's value did go up. But they kept... Did they keep Allmark? They were trying to trade him. Have they signed an extension for Allmark? No. And Forsberg's deal is up as well. Could be the time to flip Vladar. It could be. I mean, he's worth keeping, but Dustin Wolf is our guy. Unless we keep Vladar. Unless we keep him. There's Poirier. Renato Coleman doesn't want to go. Hanzik, Zeri. You got a lot of guys I want to keep that are younger. I don't immediately want to flip Sharon Govich either. It would have to be Vladar. It just feels kind of weird to trade him after he had such a good season. What if he's the goalie? Who's available like at 9 and 16 that are projected right now? We are running out of time, obviously. Number 9. Logan Hensler. Around 16. William Moore. Eklund. I mean, we can definitely get some good players, but man, first overall, like we gotta try. We gotta try. So 1, 6, or number 9, number 16, and Dan Vladar, after the great season he just had, for the first overall pick from Ottawa, just in case they don't end up keeping Allmark. Rejected. A 6th rounder should be enough. Straight up. There it is. Dan Vladar. Picks number 9 and 16 to the Ottawa Senators for the first overall pick. I feel bad for trading Vladar after such a good season, but the deal did make sense for Ottawa, where they haven't been able to re-sign Allmark. So now they have Vladar under contract, although they are looking to flip Vladar. But at least they have him for cheap, and if they're able to keep Allmark, then their goaltending is elite next year with those two. Should they have given up a first overall pick for that? I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. But we are in a lovely spot now. Absolutely lovely. And again, I don't think we're going to have anybody else to deal. I mean, Dustin Wolf, you're the guy now, though, buddy. You're the guy. Kind of scares me. The first overall pick, I mean, we already talked about it. Like, we have Luke Misa. It would be fun to draft Michael Misa. Now get Vladar back. We could, but we'll accept it for what it is. But James Higgins is the number 1 projected player in this draft. We should probably take James Higgins. Generated dude named Novoseltsev. That wasn't the most unrealistic trade. In a game full of unrealistic trades, that definitely wasn't the most unrealistic. Oh, Misa doesn't have the straight A's. Martone, we don't know for sure. It's so weird to see the Brampton Steelheads still. It's got to be James Higgins. Especially, too, he could immediately go to the AHL if we needed him to. Whereas the others would have to deal with Junior. James Higgins. Welcome to Calgary. 80 overall, high elite. Say hello to the future here in Calgary. We get that tippity-top forward prospect that we needed. The playmaker, James Higgins, and yep, the attributes reflect that, thankfully. He's going to need to work on his face-offs, but edges, tape-to-tape, third eye, skilled up. I mean, he's what we're looking for. He is absolutely what we're looking for. So that worked out really well for us. And then obviously Ottawa still has some draft depth to use. And they get some insurance with their goaltending situation. So sorry to Luke Misa, but we weren't able to draft your brother, buddy. And dude, we have nobody else to deal away. Yeah, we are what we are in terms of the draft, trading up. Like, nah, we just got to deal with whatever picks we have. So pick 48 coming up. Novoseltsev went second. Frondell to Columbus. Martone off to the Sharks. Schaefer to the Islanders. Michael Misa went 6th to LA. Ryabkin, Roger McQueen, Logan Hensler. So Ottawa gets Hensler out of it. Malcolm Spence, Denoyer, dude named Kolsnik, Breathway, Moore, Boumedienne. So again, still have some generated dude mixed in. Gordon Gavin off to Detroit. Smith off to Nashville. What could go wrong with Philadelphia drafting a Jay O'Brien? Arbano, Aitchison. That's Long's World now. Second round. Ben Hack, Columbus. I mean, there's still, like, LJ Mooney was just drafted. So, I mean, there's still some good players here. Clearly, we're in the very early stages of just like, yeah, let's let real dudes kind of take over and be fun to use here. So, pick number 16. We do need another goalie in the system, don't we? We do. We do. Oh, Murtaugh. We do need another goalie in the system badly. Oh, the Grievas? We could take the German Sedins. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Yeah, we also have pick number 23. Timeout. Timeout. We could take the German Sedins. Das Sedins. So no doubt. Oh, dude, Ravensburgen, though. 3 years out. Like, we need that next goalie in the system now that Wolf is our guy. But, dude, the Germans. Gustavs and Richards. Das Grievas. Das Sedins. Get their Andrianov. Might as well get all three. I mean, I will try. There's no guarantees. Later go. Ooh. Gabriel Dag is further down. Ivankovic is there too. Luharin stomps in this draft. It's the Grievas. 54 and 55. 9, 50, 51. I agree. Colorado and Nashville. Don't need to go Ravensburg, and that's true. That is true, but I don't know how they've... I haven't looked at potentials for this custom roster to know how good he is. We are at least going to have to trade for this Colorado pick either way. There is a chance that the Ravensburg just kind of fell right to us. We do have 3 second rounders here. So what if we give up 63, which is Colorado's original pick, and we give up a Ranger 4th? There we go. We move up 2 spots with the Avs. So that gives us the ability to take the Grievous. But do we also want Josh Ravensburgen in goal? Or do we want to bank on one of the other goaltenders? High starter for Elijah Neuschwander. I think these goalies are good. Makes me think the goalies are good. Especially Ravensburgen. Oh, boy, I don't know. I don't know how they've rated the goalies. I mean, first and foremost, I think we got a meme. I think we got it. We did just use Ravensburgen as well. Richards and Gustavs Grieva. We're taking the German Sedins. Welcome in, Richards. 66 high 9. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's okay. But Chicago. Oh, no. Well. Let it be known, everybody. Memeing is dangerous. Memeing is dangerous. Let's take the other Grieva. We'll take the German Sedines. There we go. They're identical. You love to see it. All right. We do have the 23rd pick coming up as well. Nashville takes Schustrom. Detroit takes Nastrassel. And Minnesota takes somebody else there. Amico. Holy shit. That was a choice, wasn't it? Woo. NHL ready? Ernest Vernaski. That is definitely a generated dude, but my god, he's NHL ready. Apparently Corbin Appleby is ready. What the fuck is going on? 1 year out, Mikhail Lundberg? Jesus! I mean, I was thinking of taking the Russian here, but there's some generated dudes that are really good. We got 2 NHL-ready players right there between Appleby and Vernaski. When is our next pick after this? There's nobody with, like, a guaranteed potential except for low elites. Jeff Dillon later on. Handle. Neuschwander later on is a high star. I cannot believe Ravensburgen's a high elite. That's insane. Fuck. God damn it.